France versus Senegal is a game you just cannot miss. Like, it is a game you cannot miss. And the reason is simple. You are looking at one of the best attack in Europe versus one of the best attack in Africa. And also, they play a little bit of similar football. Transition for transition, speed for speed, physicality for physicality. If you have been paying attention to this World Cup very well, you will see the gap between a traditional powerhouse and most African teams and even Asian teams has been close a little bit, like more than before. You would have expected Spain to blow Cape Verde. You'd have expected Brazil to defeat Morocco. Even Ivory Coast, you would have expected Ecuador to defeat them, despite the good record of Ecuador coming into this competition. But it has been the other way around. And it will not be different for France versus Senegal. And the reason why I said that is very simple. But let me break it down. This is Didier Deschamps' last World Cup competition. And it is going to be a legacy World Cup for him if France can reach the final. For Mbappe, there is a lot of record in place to be broken for him. He needs 5 more goals to become the all-time goal scorer in World Cup history. He needs to get to the final, then score a goal, and become the first person to score 5 goals in 3 different finals. So there is a lot of record in place in this competition, especially for Mbappe and for France in this competition. France will set up in a 4-2-3-1 formation that will morph into a 2-3-5 in possession. You are going to be seeing the 2 centre back split. You will see Koundé, the right back, invert into the midfield to create a midfield overload. Then you see the left back overlap to make a front 5. Then out of possession, you are going to be seeing France in a 4-4-2 or a 4-5-1, where they will use Mbappe pace as a counter-attacking threat. But for Senegal, expect them to set up a 4-3-3 formation or a 4-2-3-1 formation, depending on the game state. But at the same time, it is going to morph into a 4-3-3 because Senegal, both in possession and out of possession, they press with a 3 at the front and attack with the 5. You are going to see Goye drops into the defense line to create a 3 at the back, 2 in the midfield, and a 5-man attack. But the key tactical matchup to look forward is Mbappe versus Koulibaly. Koulibaly is still not 100% fit. But if he starts this game, it is the key individual duel to look forward to. Mbappe is very fast and loves to exploit space behind the back of the defender, while Koulibaly, even though he does not have the speed to match Mbappe, at least he has the physicality, the experience, and the area dominance to match Mbappe. So if he wins this duel, expect him to force Mbappe wide. But if he does not, expect Mbappe to punish them. Another key tactical matchup in this game is the front 3 of France, which is likely going to be Dembele, Olise, Doué, versus the midfield screening of Senegal. You are likely going to see Matessa, Lamine Camara, and Goye at the 3 midfield for Senegal. This key tactical matchup is where the game will be decided. Expect France to use their rotation to pull Senegal midfield out. So whoever controls this game state controls the game. Another key tactical matchup is the system versus the system. Senegal loves to press very high, front foot pressing, where they like to win the ball in a dangerous position higher up the pitch and use vertical and speed on the directness of their players. Ismail Assar, Nicholas Jackson, and Sadio Mane especially to hurt opponents. And that is where the game will be decided because it is transition versus transition. France are not a team known for possession football. They are known for direct, counter-attacking, and transition football. Why for Senegal, even though they rank higher at chances creation and ball retention at the just concluded AFCON, but expect them to go for counter-attacking and transition football too. That is what Senegal thrives on too. So it is the system of transition football versus the system of transition football. Another thing to look forward to is the fullbacks. The 4 fullback that will be on the pitch. Senegal fullback are used to hold width, while France fullback, one overlap into the attack, one invert into the midfield. Both the 4 fullback will leave space behind. So it will be very important to see how both teams will exploit that space left behind by the fullback whenever they attack or whenever they go to hold width. If you're expecting France to blow up Senegal, to just steamroll Senegal and be expecting a 4-0 scoreline, a 3-0 scoreline, that means you're not be paying attention to African football. For France, this is a proper test for them to see how ready they are for this competition. The key players for both teams is Mbappe for France. Mbappe being Mbappe, they will need him to score goals. They will need his movement to pull out centre backs. And also, Tchouaméni is very, very important in this game because when everybody attacks, he's the one screening the midfield line, cutting transitions, and setting the tone for France transition. So he is very important. He has a good game for France to have a good game. Then whoever partners Mbappe on the left wing or in the forward line, it is very important because Mbappe and whoever partners there, we are going to be interchanging time from time, rotating time from time to pull out the right back and the right defense side of Senegal. So it is very important to see whoever partners Mbappe at the other side. Another key player is Olise. France midfield is a little bit short of creativity. So the creativity burden falls on Olise. So it will be very important to see how he turns up in this match. Then for Senegal, one of the key players for Senegal in this match, Khalidou Koulibaly, his individual duel with Mbappe will determine if Senegal takes a point out of here or they win or they lose. Another key player is Sadio Mane. I know Mane does not need introduction. We all know who Mane is. And for Senegal, is the heartbeat of the attack. So it will be very important to see how Sadio Mane exploit the space behind fullback of France. Then another key player is Lamin Camara. He is the youngest in the midfield and the engine of the midfield. To see how Camara turns up in this match. Because if he can turn up and stay in position and don't allow France rotation to pull him out of position, it is very, very key to if Senegal defensive shape remains compact, organized, and not penetrable. Another person to look forward to is Nicholas Jackson. If Senegal are going to take points away from here, they need Nicholas Jackson to bury whatever chance that comes his way. Even though he's one of the few players who can count on to lose goal, but then he's still very clutch and he needs to get his firing boot ready here. If he does, Senegal actually have hope of taking points away from here. If he doesn't, then there's a bigger issue. Regardless, this is going to be a very interesting game and a game you should not miss because it is transition versus transition, speed versus speed, physicality for physicality.